Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, let's do a walk around and tour of this beautiful 2023 Cadillac XT5 Sport. The Sport trim level on the XT5 is going to be the most enthusiast version of the XT5, and what I mean by that is, of course, you are going to be getting some nice goodies on the exterior as well as the interior. This one here does have the technology package, which does include a very nice heads-up display and your camera inside of the rear view mirror for $22.75. You do get the climate control package in here, which is going to be your tri-zone climate control rather, for $1,200 plus. And then you get your cargo organizer in the back for $1,050. With that being said, all in all, this vehicle came in at around $63,000 when brand new. On top of this sport package, with the uniqueness of the options that this vehicle comes with, you also get unique blacked out wheels as well as those red brake calipers, which look really nice. And the interior looks very, very unique as well. But with that being said, a huge thank you to Brandon Thomas Mitsubishi, which is the part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see on the key, it's going to be your traditional Cadillac key fob. You have all your controls on this side, followed by the Cadillac emblem on the other side. As you can see, you have your lock, unlock, remote start, your trunk release, and your panic alarm. To remote start the XT5, just make sure the vehicle is locked and push down and hold the remote start button, and the vehicle will start right up. When you're finished, just push and hold the remote start button again, and the engine will shut itself off from there. Starting off here in the front of the vehicle, this one being the Sport package, or coming equipped with the Sport package, the grille itself is going to be completely blacked out. However, you have this aluminum finish all around the outside portion, which does add on a nice touch. And you have your Cadillac shield right there front and center, which looks really, really good. You also have a front-facing camera, so that way it will let you know what's in front of you, so that way you will be able to slow down and not be met with an oncoming collision. And when you pan out a little bit, it kind of gives it an aggressive look, as you would expect. You also have your front parking sensors on this vehicle as well. As you can see, you have your iconic LED daytime running lights with your xenon projector headlamps. Checking out the wheels and tires of this one, as you can see, we are taking a look at a set of Michelin Primacy Tour tires on 20-inch wheels. This one comes in at 235, 55 R20s all the way around. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and coming over to the door, just simply put your hand right here and tap the button. One beep will indicate unlock and allow you to jump on inside of the vehicle. And when you're finished, close it up, tap the button again, and one beep will indicate locking. The exterior color of this one is finished off in Argent Silver Metallic with a jet black leather interior. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some soft touch material on top, as well as down here at the bottom. This one being the Sport package, you do get some carbon fiber trim here on the door panel, which looks very nice. You have your aluminum door handle. You have your Bose Performance Series speaker right here in the panel itself. You're going to have your controls here for your power mirrors. This is to actually fold those mirrors in, as well as your power windows. You have a small little storage area here, which looks pretty nice. And then you have this area here for a small cup holder. You also have your trunk adjustment right here as well. And of course, you have that Bose speaker here in the door jamb. To start the vehicle up, just make sure you have the key fob on you inside your person or within the vehicle. Put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. I'm going to adjust my seat real quick because it retracted back to its original position as we started the vehicle up. Give me 1 second. And there we go. The Cadillac XT5 does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped, vacuum-powered power steering wheel with controls on the left as well as on the right sides. The left side, as you can see, is going to house our controls for cruise control, our hands-free voice and telephone controls. And down here, you're going to have your safety features as well as your heated steering wheel at the very bottom. To the right, you're going to have your controls here for the instrument cluster, your volume controls here, as well as your seat track down here. You also have some more of that carbon fiber trim right here underneath the steering wheel, which looks really nice. You also have aluminum finished paddle shifters on both the left and the right side as well. Coming over to the gauge cluster, we're taking a look at your standard gauge setup here with two main gauges. To the left, you're going to have your tachometer and your fuel gauge, and to the right, you're going to have your speedometer and your coolant temperature. Right in the middle is your driver information system, which consists of a lot of information such as your all drive, your speed limiter right next to that, followed by your current speed, your compass, as well as your time. And as you can see at the bottom, we have our range to empty, our odometer reading, which this vehicle has just over 46,000 miles, and our gear selection on the far right. We can see in the middle, it's going to show us our average fuel economy, as well as our best fuel economy information. We can also scroll through this screen via the steering wheel, and it's going to show us starting off with our fuel economy. We also do have our follow distance, our blank page, info page options, our trip 1 information, as well as trip 2 information, fuel range to empty, your oil life, tire pressure monitoring system, your air filter life, and then back to your fuel economy average. Coming over here, we're taking a look at a rather nice 8-inch infotainment system here, pretty much the standard in the XT5, and as you can see, this one does look really, really nice. Now, one thing I have to say that I've liked about the Cadillac user experience, which is what this is essentially called, is that it just looks a lot better than what you'll find in something like the Chevys and the Buicks. You know, this actually steps a little bit as far as the look of the screen itself, the not the instrument, but the infotainment system itself. It does look really, really good. To the left, you do have some haptic feedback buttons for things such as your parking sensors here for the front and the rear, as well as your all stop start function. Let's turn this off here on the screen itself. This is where you'll be able to kind of go through and kind of see what's going on here. However, your home page is going to be on this end here, which is going to show us our temperatures. You can see there for our climate control, what's playing on the radio, as you can see. You also have your phone connectivity at the bottom there, and then your navigation to the far right. We're going to turn this radio down for copyright purposes, and we're going to go to our radio. As you can see here, it's going to show us what's actually playing right now. You're going to have your connectivity here via your sources for things such as your iPhone, Bluetooth audio, and then of course your Sirius XM. You also have AM radio and FM radio. You have your preset stations on top of here. You have your sound settings, browse, as well as your general settings. Seat trackers right here, and you can scan your channels right here. And you have your icons down here at the bottom, which include your home, audio, phone, navigation, as well as climate control. So back to our home page. Come over to the second screen. This is where we're going to start things off with our audio, phone, navigation, Wi-Fi hotspot, users, settings, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. You have apps, OnStar services, climate control, rear climate control, camera, My Cadillac, Sirius XM, as well as Cadillac Maps Plus. Starting off here with our audio. That is where we just were to start off with. Coming over to our phone. This is where we'll be able to connect our phone via the Bluetooth system to the vehicle. And when you do that, you're going to have your contacts, favorites, keypad, as well as recents, and phones, because you can have up to multiple different phones in the vehicle system. You have navigation, which, as you can see, while it's not the newest one that we see in some GM products, it still looks pretty up to date and it looks pretty nice. As you can see, you can search for destinations up here, zoom in function here. It's going to give you your compass here as well as where you're at. And you can also set your home address right there as well. Coming over to our settings here, this is going to be a comprehensive list of different things that you can change and make it your own. As you can see, and you have 3 different systems, which include your system, apps, and vehicle. Systems going to give us our things such as our time and date, our language, phones, Wi-Fi networks, Wi-Fi hotspot, privacy, device remote access, our display, our sounds, our voice, favorites, updates, and preferences of the vehicle software, as well as about and running applications, and then the factory reset. So over here, we're going to focus specifically on our sound, because we can adjust the maximum startup volume for this one, as well as our display, which we can change the mode, or you can turn the display off. Coming over here to our apps. Hold on. Our apps are going to include our Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, our general apps, audio, climate controls. We have our My Cadillac, which is going to be a mobile device app that you have to download on your phone, navigation, phone, Sirius XM. Over here, this is where you'll be able to adjust your tone, your Bose Audio Pilot, manage features, set number of audio features, manage devices, as well as to reset the music index. And as you come down to our climate controls, you have your auto fan speed adjustment here, auto cooled seat adjustment, auto defog function, as well as auto rear defog, your ionizer. And these right here, you can actually adjust to kind of make it your own preferences. And then we move on to our vehicle settings over here, which includes our rear seat reminder, climate air quality, collision detection systems, comfort and convenience, our lighting, as well as our power door locks, remote lock, unlock and start, seating position, your teen driver mode, valet mode, and that's pretty much it. And so with that said, over here, we'll check on our climate and air quality, which is where we just were a second ago. We have our rear seat reminder, which we can turn on or off. Our comfort and convenience here, which is going to include our chime volume, reverse tilt mirror, remote mirror folding, rain sensing wipers, as well as our auto wipe and reverse gear. And last but not least, our lighting system. As you can see, you can turn the vehicle locator lights on or off, and your exit lighting, you can adjust that as well. Coming over here, you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then you're going to have your climate controls here, which you can adjust from the screen. You can adjust the temperature, adjust the fan positioning, fan speed. You have your different climate functions down here, which includes turning the system completely off, turning the AC on or off, recycling, sync, which is going to allow you to sync both temperatures at the same time for the front and front passenger, as well as your auto air conditioning there. And then your rear climate is going to give you the same function as you can see there in the back. Camera is going to allow you to view your backup camera. As you can see, 360 standard on the Sport, clear quality backup camera, and you have your different visions or views, I should say, down here at the bottom. My Cadillac is going to be for your mobile device, which you will have to download on your phone. Your Sirius XM, which is going to send you directly to your Sirius XM settings, and then Cadillac Maps Plus. So overall, pretty comprehensive, and the infotainment system is pretty nice in this one. So with that said, I'm going to do it here for the tour of the infotainment system in the Cadillac XT5. However, when we go into reverse, when you put it into reverse, you do get that backup camera with guidance lines that do adjust as you turn the wheel. And when that warning button is on, right there, it's going to allow the driver's seat to vibrate, letting you know that, hey, you might want to be careful because you're backing up into something or to someone. Like I mentioned, you have that 360 camera, and you have these different views down here, which includes your standard view. You also have what's going on in front of you. You have a top-down view, as well as a top-down view of the back. You have a side-by-side view of the front and the back, and then back to your standard camera. With that said, coming down here, we do have our climate control functions, dual zone climate controls, heated and ventilated seats for the front and front passenger, and pretty much everything that we touched on up there on the screen, you'll be seeing down here as well, such as your rear air conditioning controls, your airflow, recycling, auto air conditioning, and you can turn the system completely off. Little storage area for things like a wallet or your key fob. 9-speed automatic transmission here. You have 2 cup holders right here. You're going to have some controls here with the little knob that you can use for the infotainment system, which is what I used in the tour, which is makes things a whole lot easier. You have some shortcut buttons here, but on top of here we do have your volume, you have your seat track, and then down here we have that knob that we just talked about. You have some shortcuts here which include your audio, navigation, your back button, and your phone. You also have traction control off right here, as well as your different modes here for your drive modes, which brings us up to this screen. You have Sport, Off-Road, Tour, and Standard all-wheel drive. I'm going to keep it in Tour mode. And then come over here to the glove compartment. You have a good amount of storage space on top, which is because you have the small little cubby, but inside you have more storage space, as you can see, as well as what looks like to be 1 USB-C and 1 USB port. Put that back there. And then right here is going to be your wireless charging pad. The XT5 Sport, I have to say, does give you some pretty comfortable seats. It's nothing special, but overall it does look really nice. I love the Cadillac V here. It's been a staple for over 3 decades now. Love the perforations coming down the middle, as it does complement the seat well. You do have some pretty faint side bolsters, but they do look really nice. And overall, the seat in the XT5 Sport is pretty comfortable. Come over here to your glove box. It's going to be lined with felt, and you have a good amount of storage space inside. Some more of that carbon fiber material coming across the dash, soft touch material here, and then you have some more soft touch material on top of here, which is what you expect in a Cadillac. You do have your frameless mirror here, which also doubles as a camera, which is pretty nice. You do have your controls here for your overhead lights, garage home link right here, Open up the sunroof, which this one does have, as well as your OnStar and Live Agent for your roadside assistance. You do have a visor here with a mirror as well as lighting. And then coming to the left side here, you're going to have your gauge number switches, electronic parking brake, heads-up display controls here, which includes moving the heads-up display up and down, information for it, as well as the brightness and dimness of it. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's right up there. As you can see, it's kind of faint, but it is right there, as you can see, as I'm focusing towards that Volvo XC40 in the front. But with that being said, the Cadillac XT5 Sport is pretty nice, it's pretty intuitive, and it's loaded for what you're getting out of the vehicle. So with that said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2023 Cadillac XT5 Sport. Coming into the back of the Cadillac XT5 Sport, materials do follow through in this one, and it's very nice. You have rear climate control here in the middle. As you can see, you can adjust the temperatures, adjust the heated seat functions for the rear, little storage space here, and some more, it's not really storage, but you do have what seems to be a USB-C and USB port at the bottom. You have two seat pockets, one right here and one right over there. And you do have a pad armrest with two cup holders. You have your fuel tank right here with a capless fuel filler. Coming to the back, the XT5 Sport does come standard with LED taillights, and the taillights are cleared out, which look really nice. You do have the XT5 badge right here, 400, which is going to be the torque for this vehicle in Newton meters, and as well as your Cadillac shield in the middle, followed by your all drive badge and rear parking sensors. It does have an automatic liftgate. Coming inside of into the cargo area of the XT5 Sport, you have plenty of room to work with here, and as you can see, you're looking at around 30 cubic feet of space evenly, which is very nice. You do have the cargo management system here, which, let's say if this was set up, for example, I'm just going to use this as a demonstration. Let's say you have something and you don't want it to roll past here. That's what this is for. You just put this into the little lines right here, and it will keep whatever it is up to here in place. It's pretty cool to see. And then when you fold down the second row, which you can do from either of those two tabs right there, or you can do from this tab here and this tab here, when you fold the seats down, they do fold completely flat, and you're looking at just around 63.5 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad for a vehicle of this size. Now, since we're back here, we do have LED lighting on both sides. We do have a outlet over here, as you can see, and then underneath here, we do have our spare tire, followed by our rear bumper protector. And when you're done, just tap this button here, and it will close down automatically. There it is. Got it. Under the hood of the Cadillac XT5, we are taking a look at the corporate 3.6-liter variable valve timing V6 engine. It produces 310 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to that 90-speed automatic transmission, and this vehicle is all-wheel drive. So in conclusion, back in the Cadillac XT5, it's a nice place to spend time, especially if you're in the market for one of these on the used car market. They do make an overall pretty decent value when it comes down to what you're getting in the vehicle. Like this one, for example, is fully loaded, had an MSRP of just a tad over $63,000. And what you're getting out of this vehicle is not just utility, but you get a lot of tech in this car, which is kind of impressive, actually, which is important to point out. But you also have a pretty responsive experience when it comes on to the overall look of the vehicle, but also how this vehicle drives. And obviously I'm not going to drive it for obvious purposes, but what I will say is that I like the interior, I like the exterior, and I like this vehicle all the way around. And for it being fully loaded, all of that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2023 Cadillac XT5 Sport, finished off here in Argent Silver Metallic with a jet black leather interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.